The year is 1971. The Indian subcontinent is ablaze. A brutal civil war has gripped Pakistan, pitting West Pakistan against its eastern wing, East Pakistan. India, deeply affected by the conflict and the flood of refugees pouring across its borders, intervenes in support of East Pakistan. The war ends in a decisive victory for India and paves the way for the birth of a new nation, Bangladesh. In the aftermath of this tumultuous period, India and Pakistan sought a path to peace. Their answer was the Simla Agreement. Signed on July 2, 1972, in the scenic hill station of Simla, India, the agreement aimed to bury the hatchet and lay the foundation for a new era of peaceful coexistence. Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Pakistani President Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, the leaders of these newly independent nations, met to chart a way forward. The Simla Agreement, more than just a document, represented a shared hope. Both nations, weary from war, recognized the need for stability and cooperation. The agreement, they hoped, would be a beacon of peace for the region. It was a promise to prioritize dialogue over conflict and diplomacy over war. At the heart of the Simla Agreement lay a commitment to resolve disputes through bilateral negotiations. This crucial aspect underscored the agreement's essence, promoting dialogue and mutual respect as the cornerstones of their future relationship. By choosing this path, India and Pakistan sought to build a future free from the shadow of third-party interventions. The Simla Agreement's most visible outcome was the demarcation of the line of control. This line, tracing the ceasefire positions of both armies after the 1971 war, would serve as a crucial but often contested boundary. The agreement stipulated that neither side would attempt to alter the line of control unilaterally, emphasizing the importance of mutual consent and respect for territorial integrity. The agreement also addressed the issue of troop withdrawals. Both countries agreed to pull back their forces to their respective sides of the international border. This withdrawal, a concrete step towards de-escalation, aimed to reduce tensions and foster a sense of security along the border regions. It was a testament to the agreement's commitment to creating a more peaceful environment. Beyond the immediate concerns of territorial integrity and military withdrawals, the Simla Agreement sought to rebuild fractured ties. It called for the resumption of communication links, travel facilities, trade and cultural exchanges, vital steps towards normalizing relations. The agreement recognized that true peace extended beyond the battlefield, encompassing the restoration of people-to-people contact and cooperation. However, the agreement stopped short of explicitly addressing the future of Kashmir, a region at the heart of the conflict. This omission, while intended to facilitate dialogue, would become a source of future contention. The agreement's silence on a permanent resolution for the Kashmir issue left a void that future disagreements would inevitably fill. Despite its lofty goals, the Simla Agreement could not entirely prevent future conflicts. The Siachen conflict of 1984, sparked by competing claims over the Siachen Glacier, cast a long shadow over the agreement's effectiveness. Pakistan viewed India's occupation of the glacier as a violation of the agreement's spirit of mutual respect and peaceful coexistence. The Kargil War of 1999 further tested the agreement's resilience. Infiltrations by Pakistani forces across the line of control in the Kargil sector reignited tensions. The conflict, though eventually resolved through diplomatic efforts, served as a stark reminder of the fragile nature of peace in the region. Despite these setbacks, the Simla Agreement remained a cornerstone of India-Pakistan relations for several decades. It served as a critical framework for dialogue, even during periods of heightened tension. The agreement's emphasis on bilateral negotiations continued to guide diplomatic efforts, preventing the escalation of disputes into full-blown conflicts. However, the agreement's legacy has been a subject of debate. Critics argue that its failure to resolve the Kashmir issue has allowed the dispute to fester, serving as a constant source of tension. They point to the recurring conflicts and the persistent mistrust as evidence of the agreement's limitations. In a significant development that sent shockwaves through the region, Pakistan announced its suspension of the Simla Agreement in April 2025. This drastic step, a response to India's suspension of the Indus Waters Treaty following the 2025 Pahalgam attack, marked a new low in the tumultuous relationship between the two nations. The suspension of the Simla Agreement, a cornerstone of regional stability for over 5 decades, raised serious concerns about the future of India-Pakistan relations. With the agreement's mechanisms for dialogue and conflict resolution effectively frozen, the risk of miscalculation and escalation increased dramatically. The international community watched with bated breath, urging both sides to exercise restraint and seek a peaceful resolution. The suspension of the Simla Agreement served as a stark reminder of the fragility of peace in South Asia and the urgent need for dialogue and reconciliation. The future of the Simla Agreement remains uncertain. Whether this suspension marks a temporary setback or a permanent rupture in bilateral relations depends on the actions of both India and Pakistan. Their willingness to engage in dialogue, rebuild trust, and address the root causes of their conflict will determine the fate of the agreement and the future of peace in South Asia.